So we start with the front page of the Times, Josh, which has got a couple of major stories.
Yeah, so we've got a lovely big picture there of President Xi, or as I like to call him, 11, and Biden, and they're giving
11 in China.
The first 11, that's what they do. That's what they say of him. Give peace a chance, and they both look quite happy there. I think that's a genuine smile. Actually, supposedly President Xi is like a real germaphobe. He's very paranoid of COVID.
Right.
I suppose he has some inside information on it. Anyway, but Biden's
nevertheless, that's an unmitigated handshake.
Yeah, that's a proper handshake there. But Biden's got a mild cold, and he still went for the handshake there.
He looks a little bit Botoxed, Biden. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe it's just the photograph. He looks younger.
He does. Yeah, he looks. Yeah, exactly. And it was a 3-hour meeting. This is the first time they've met since Biden's become president.
Yeah.
And
did they discuss the fact that he sent missiles over his Secretary of State's head? No, it was the leader of the House, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if that came up. They did talk about Taiwan, but the big ones were they wanted to stress. By the way, there's not going to be a new Cold War.
No.
And they wanted.
We've already got one of those.
We've got one. Yeah. It's not going to get any colder. Yeah. Shall we say that? Also, they are saying that they want to both underscore that their opposition to nuclear weapons being used in Ukraine. That's a nice little thing that they're coming. And also coming together on climate change as well. But yes, one of the big sticking points was, of course, Taiwan, and that was supposedly where things got a little bit awkward in
Taiwan. And also, I don't know whether it came up, but China are rather more neutral towards Russia, generally speaking, aren't they, than the rest of the world? I don't know whether.
Yeah, but I don't believe they've been supplying weapons and whatever. So I think that they
happy to buy oil though, and that sort of thing.
Well,
what can you do?
Who isn't?
Yeah. So they were relatively cautiously optimistic about.
I think so. I think the thing is that any conversation and any communication is good, and then it also opens the doors to all of their underlings to start chatting to each other a little bit.
China are very good at making sure that doors are open, usually around the back. And I say no more. But what do you think, Nick? You feel optimistic about American-Chinese cooperation?
Oh, very optimistic. Well, the question is, with China, is cooperation more sinister than opposition? That's what I'm not sure about, because I like that they're both saying we both don't want nuclear war. Totally on board with that.
Yeah.
But then when they say we're going to cooperate on climate change and food and health, alarm bells for me, because China's record on health maybe not great, and everyone's record on climate change bad, because I'm against the whole thing. But
climate change hoax. But
the whole
they
hoax.
They are the world's two biggest polluters. I mean, you say you think it's a hoax, but you yourself are a relatively small polluter, whereas China and America are quite evil.
I feel you put words in my mouth a bit there with the hoax, but I feel that it's a carte blanche to do whatever you want to your population when you say there's an apocalyptic threat. It's more how I would say it. But I've got a tiny carbon footprint, barely worth remarking on. Theirs is massive. Just a quick word on what you said about Botox. There's a whole movement on the internet thinking Biden's a different person.
Yes.
His face is so different to how it was.
Basis.
Yeah, so it goes way beyond Botox.
Somebody actually did say that, and quite seriously, they said, because they've done earlobe analysis. There's a certain tribe on Twitter, at any rate, who look at photographs and go, here, Biden, when he was a sort of 45-year-old Senate with a command of the language, he had these ears, and now he's this dithering old fool. He has these ears, and it's obviously... But somebody has said genuinely that's because he's had a facelift. He has actually had...
Oh, really?
We're doing great work in the earlobe community. But the other thing was, it's the first time they've met face-to-face, but Biden thought they'd met about 20 times, apparently. Couldn't remember. I made that up. But it's quite...
mistaking him for his teddy bear.
Yeah, it's quite a harsh joke. But, I don't know. But, I mean, yes, I'm pro not having nuclear war. I can't stress that enough.
That's good for you, mate. Going against your base.
And finally, Josh, you mentioned this earlier, population hits 8 billion.
Yes, that's pretty... today is the 8 billion.
Ring out the bells.
Yeah, and I believe tomorrow it's going to be 9 billion. Yeah. And it's going to be going on...
Well, there are some people... There's a number of interesting discussions about this, which we don't have time to go into in depth, but it's hotly contested whether we'll ever hit 9. They think it already... it could be baked in.
With the sort of one-child policy, now they're desperate to have children in China.
Yeah. China are absolutely not going to be driving that, and they are in decline already. I think India are likely to overtake them quite soon.